This particular edition of the Canyon Courier, I've chosen right off the bat to cover the fact that our son and Greg Lee, son of the high school principal, were two of the boys going to state cross country. Roy had been hurt earlier in wrestling, and I'm sure he was out there trying to build himself back up to go back and wrestle, and he worked hard at it. He did, however, tell me just recently that he probably already had asthma some way back then, because he said, "Dad, a lot of times I just did not have the wind that the other kids had." So he out there and he did his job, did the running, but he couldn't do as much as he wanted to because of trying to get enough breath. Greg Lee was an outstanding runner, and I don't remember if it was a connection with running or not, but later in the years we were there, Greg had a collapsed lung, and boy, that was scary, but he came out of it all right. Well, the next thing I want to go to was an article about the rinky-dinks defeated by the high school team, and the rinky-dinks obviously being the junior high team. The annual faculty ball game held Thursday was won by the high school Mountain Lions. Score 66-56 over the rinky-dinks. Two schools played, raised, they remind the public, we raised money for the athletic funds, the activity funds. A capacity crowd attended, and they came to cheer on their teams. And if an award is to be given for cheerleaders, the junior high rooters won hands down for enthusiasm and just plain noise. This year's game, reading it, did not include all the elements of humor that was seen last year, but it was a rough and tough tumbled game, well played. Some of the outstanding stars were Bill of the Wisp of Ledgerwood and Phil Slewfoot Castor of the Lions, and Jerry Don Juan Divert and Dean Wahoo Riggs of the Rinky-Dinks. A favorite with the high school crowd and rooters was Art Muscles Madrid, who switched from wrestling to basketball for the night. And halftime entertainment was the Evergreen Junior High Tumblers under the direction of Lyndon Wood. One of the few times I ever got my picture in the paper in connection with an athletic event. If I look a little startled there, it might be because the picture taker says down here that Riggs of the junior high rinky-dinks thought he had a rebound, but crafty Tex Autry of the Lions stole it away. And he did. Thief. The next one I want to show you was a picture that demonstrates how the snow in the mountains can fall so soft and gentle. That's a picture of a mailbox with 14 inches of snow stacked on top of it from its peak to its very edges. The snow brings wonderful opportunities for fun. The ice on the lake. The city of Denver did run, probably still does, the skating on Evergreen Lake. It's their Evergreen Park up there. And they probably do as good a job as the city would do on a fancy, expensive rink. They scrape the snow out of the way. They scrape a little smooth area, reflood. Oh boy, I skated a lot on there. I'm not much of a skater, but I had a great time. They make it so nice. And they've got a little warming house over there. If you get cold, you can go there and warm up a little bit. Well, not High One Hills, but also a golf club area, a golfing course is right there behind the lake, and there are hills on it that they've let the kids start skiing and tobogganing and sledding. Some of the sleds are as simple as a trash can cover. People get hurt. Well, another thing that worried the tar out of people was that some people cut across the lake to get over to skate, and some of our students cut across the lake to get home. Made it a much shorter distance. Scary. Particularly in the spring when that ice is starting to go, or in early fall when it's not too solid yet. If you go through that ice, you're almost sure to die. Almost sure to die. And if somebody tries to rescue you, probably will be more than one person die. So the editor had been editorializing about that danger on the lake, and now here's a letter to the editor that says, "Dear editor, the editor has been expressing his concern about the tracks of little feet across the not-so-well frozen lake surface, and I agree with him that this can well result in the drowning. What he has not mentioned has been the reason people walk across the ice. This is the best way to get into the skating area without having to pay for the parking. If parents would drive their children to the solid land entrance or make them walk in the back way, they can still get in free. The real danger, in my opinion, is the wholesale mayhem visited upon the hundreds of parents and children who take their lives and limbs in hand when they visit the sledding and skiing area on the golf course." He goes on to say that the city of Denver has lots of employees up there, but they're mostly taking money and controlling parking. And nobody's really watching for safety. Like you go to a big ski area, you've got the ski patrolman. If you get too wild up there, you get pulled off the course. So he says the poorer the sledder or tobogganer, the faster they go. The more inexperienced, the faster he goes. I stood at the bottom of the golf course a week ago Sunday watching two of my children skiing. During the hour I was there, two grown men were dragged off on sleds to the first aid room. Several children were removed to that area. And at one point, I watched a boy, maybe 5 or 6, coming barreling down the slope on his sled. His father sent him off from the top. I saw him do it. Coming straight toward me, the boy passed his mother near the bottom, and her contribution was, "Hey, stop!" This child had obviously never been shown how to get off a sled if he had to. There he sat, glued to the sled, headed right straight for me and a concrete post that was in front of me. If I had not grabbed him, he would have splattered his head on the post. The mother didn't even know he was in danger. He says the mother seemed quite unconcerned. Now, lots of people get hurt on ski slopes, but you get too many people on a hill, sledding, skiing, tobogganing, it can be dangerous. Well, the last one has to do with youth hold Easter sunrise service. The second annual Easter sunrise service for the mountain area will be presented this Sunday by the youth of the community. The outdoor service will begin at 6 a.m. Easter Sunday morning near Evergreen Christian Church. If it's bad weather, it'll be inside. This unusual and inspiring service will be prepared and presented by youth from several of the mountain area churches. All interested youth, regardless of denomination, are urged to attend. Hearty breakfast for the youth immediately following the service will be served by the Christian church. If you're going to eat, buy your ticket ahead of time. Our Roy and Rita were involved in that, and Donna and I were among the sponsors. I don't know if we were sponsors that year or not, but we did a lot of work with the youth groups. That's it for this time. It's cold here. Not going to get any snow tonight. Won't be long, though. God bless you. God bless you wherever you are, whatever age you are, whatever year this is. We love you and we wish you the best.